Coming up on this episode of the Village Idiom.
If an illegal immigrant caught a child molester, would it be Alien versus Predator?
Dum dum da da, Village Idiom.
Hello and welcome to the Village Idiom.
We are a podcast that every single week we take a popular saying or an idiom or a metaphor or a phrase, and we take an admittedly shallow, hopefully comedic, once in a while interesting, if we're lucky, educational dive into its usage, its meaning, its origins, but mostly we're going to use it to hang our otherwise directionless conversation on. My name is Jurassic Mark.
And I'm skinny.
You are skinny indeed.
I'm just feeling like I've had like a just stack of amphetamines or something. I'm just so jacked right now.
Jacked on amphetamines.
Is that a thing?
Wow.
I don't even know what they are. What do they do? Are those the diuretic ones?
Amphetamines. I don't even know if I'm saying it right.
Amphetamines.
Let alone give you a description of what they do.
I don't know what it sounds like. Something you'd hear off like one of them crime stories.
Amphetamines.
Yeah, like it sounds like drugs. I'm not on drugs.
It's drugs.
Is it drugs?
You're jacked up on drugs?
I'm not. This is like, would a person who was admit it or wasn't?
Did you watch any of the Johnny Depp trial? They admit it like crazy.
Crazy.
Like there is no shame in the drugs that have been partaken in.
Isn't it always happy hour? That guy. Johnny had a
mega
jar.
pint.
He had a jar. What is it?
Mega pint of wine and
it was
a jar of cocaine.
There's going to be songs written. Today was the day it all came down, and that was the end.
Is it done?
He won.
Oh, really?
Yes. She also won.
What?
But he won more.
This sounds like a marital argument then.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was a marital argument, but
kind of.
He won, and she also won.
I think.
All right.
Yeah.
Nobody
I think he
won.
like.
Then there's no real winners.
No. Either way, there was no real winners. It's like watching the Titanic
definitely.
sink.
Oh yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. It's just like one like toxic thing after another, but. That's how that goes sometimes,
what do
right?
you mean he won and she also won?
Like he won. I think in the end he'll like win 10.35 million, and she'll win like 2 or something like that. That there was both had some defamation, something or others.
Okay.
Yeah, but hers is more egregious.
Well,
but they're both messed up.
Just with the little tiny clips that Google fed me, it was very biased, either biased or clear winner. That she was.
They always give you little tidbits to think about, like a little something to think about when you're coming in off those news feeds. Just little nuggets to ponder.
They sure do. They sure do exactly that.
If only there was a segue to our idiom du jour.
Well, how about this one, which is, did you ever see the movie Thunder Force?
No.
Terrible.
Food.For.Thought.
Quick.
That's from Thunder Force, though. In case...
a little food for thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's been interesting on the two sides, because you're just watching you're watching an alcoholic drug addict say that, he may or may not have done, he didn't do terrible things, but he's also a drunk and a drug addict. So you're not entirely sure what he does when he does what he does, outside of jars of cocaine and amphetamines.
Yeah.
Whatever he was doing.
Unfortunately...
But she also dropped a big amber turd on his bed.
Right.
And all sorts of crazy...
Unfortunately, even if her stories were correct, there was like evidence of her indiscretions. And so it was like...
So, yeah, the flip side, because so immediately you start... people are in who are advocating for, like, women who've gone through situations or abuse situations. They're like, yeah, this is like set back women's whatever. It's like, is it?
No.
I don't see it.
I mean, who am I to say? But yeah, like, just because one person, one case, one situation.
Yeah, there was a lot to ponder there. That really was a food for thought.
It's definitely two sides to it. So it was terrible on both sides. End of story. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no...
the memes are already flying. This was almost the day you caught Captain Jack Sparrow.
That's perfect.
Yeah. So it's terrible. They're both... It's like... Yeah, you're watching a train wreck, and it's like, there is no good. There is no winner. Everybody loses... But it is what it is. Food for thought.
This one is from Dinosaurs. Okay, remember the weird sort of Muppety TV show called Dinosaurs? Not the mama. Does that ring any bells?
Yes, but it's like in the vein of Elf to me.
Yes.
Okay.
So was there a second one? You seem so vague that you're not going to know this because I am familiar with dinosaurs, and it's like the dad goes to work. It's kind of Flintstones meets the Muppets meets
Fraggle Rock.
Yeah. And but then this one that I'm going to play came from Dinosaurs-Endangered Species. And I'm like, was there two?
Because it was so successful, they needed a second one.
Anyway, this is from that.
Food for thought. Thought from food.
Thought from food. And the reason I wanted to play that is I came across a little list.
I've got one.
Oh, what do you got?
On Food for Thought, where do you serve food for thought?
Where do you serve it?
Yes. Off a contemplate. Think about that.
Well, I found non-comical information about how the brain, like actual food for thought, food that helps the brain in its thinking.
I got nothing serious.
Eating a healthful diet has always been wise.
I am going to eat some of these, which are Lucky Charms.
Yeah, exactly.
Intermixed with Reese's Pieces.
That's a help. That might be food for
what
thought. Let's see if Lucky Charms and Reese's Pieces are on the food for thought list.
Okay.
So, how the brain uses nutrients. Not to get all boring here, but brain uses carbohydrates for energy, omega-3 fatty acids, which forms its cell structure. Vitamin B plays a role in brain function. Folic acid, blah 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 blah. Vitamin B12, and of course vitamin C, and there's other details about what they do, and
it's the happiest of acids.
Protection against free radicals, blah blah blah. What foods do you think are on this top 10 list of best foods for brain to help brain function?
I'm going to go with Coke Zero.
Coke Zero, not in the top 10.
Okay. Was Reese's Pieces on there?
No.
Was any of the Reese's category in there?
Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Was it? Okay, good.
Yeah. No, take a guess on natural foods that might be good for your brain.
I'm just going to stick with like the classic superfoods. I'm going to go with kale.
Don't see kale on here.
Okay. Acai berries.
Don't see that.
Blueberries.
Nope.
Okay. I'm just going to branch it out there. Sometimes they say that a fruit or a vegetable looks like.
I know.
And so I'm going to go with a cauliflower.
Oh, I thought you were going to say walnut.
A walnut.
No, neither.
Oh, what a jerk.
All right, so egg yolks is good for brain function.
Okay.
Spinach protects the brain from age-related problems.
Spinach was on my superfood list that I couldn't
remember. You kind
remember.
of said kale.
Yeah.
And that's pretty close.
I'm pretty sure I said kale.
Yellowfin tuna protects against Alzheimer's. Cranberries. It's the only berry you didn't say.
This is brought to you by the Goldfin Tuna Farmers of Canada.
Cranberries are good for memory, balance, and coordination.
And if you have a bladder infection.
Yeah, but that's not in your brain.
I guess it depends where you think from.
Sweet potatoes is just nourishment for the brain. Strawberries reduces the risk of age-related brain decline. Kidney beans improves your cognitive function. And here's the favorite one on the list, number 8, Raisin Bran.
That is totally made up.
Raisin Bran prevents migraines and headaches.
If I was to bet here's $100 this is brought out by General Mills.
No, I've been just skipping over this. So Raisin Bran provides carbohydrates, iron, B vitamins, folic acid, calcium, magnesium. These are all important nutrients for brain fuel as well as health and vitality. In addition, magnesium is a mineral that helps relax blood vessels, preventing the constriction and dilation characteristic of migraine and tension headaches. And then number 9, lamb loin, which helps with concentration and mental performance. I wonder why lamb loin, not lamb chops, not mutton. Lamb loin, specifically. And the last one, number 10, is wheat germ. Good for the brain, rich in vitamin E and selenium, which is that Latina pop singer.
She's good.
Yeah.
Selenium Gomez.
Oh, that's the actress.
Oh, I see. That's like one of the Addams
I was
family
just going
people.
with selenium.
Selenium
no
Gomez.
last name.
Oh, I see.
Anyway, there. No jokes in there. Just interesting food for thought because it's actually food for the brain.
Yours is actually food for thought. I went in a completely different direction. And so I went with y'all and Village Idiom children. Do you remember Velociraptor?
Yes.
And that's where I went with food for thought.
Okay.
Okay, so my food for
It's
thought.
almost Jack Handy.
Yes. And so these are some Velociraptor food for thought. If one cacti is a cactus, is a single broccoli a broccolus?
Yep.
That
sense.
is a Velociraptor. You can use these around a water cooler. Take credit for them yourself. If an illegal immigrant caught a child molester, would it be Alien versus Predator?
That's funny.
This is Velociraptor.
Kind of look like we got the Velociraptor right behind us there.
Yeah, you got to.
He's got his headphones. He's chiming in.
Some people will
We should have
comment
put a microphone right here for him.
Velociraptor, because he's got his like talon thing.
Yeah.
And people are like, how can it be like thinking if that's off of his back foot? Because they have the talons on the back feet.
Well,
and then they show the whole picture of him, and it is his back leg.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's not his front little paw ones.
Interesting.
Yeah, so there's a Velociraptor piece of trivia for you. I got a couple more, and then we'll wrap up this exciting segment. And this, I enjoyed this one. If you're cooler than me,
I am.
then I must be hotter than you.
Oh, I walked into that one.
Isn't that brilliant?
Would you rather be cool or hot? That's a good question. Would you rather be cool or hot?
If you're cooler than me, I must be hotter than you.
If you're hotter than me, I must be cooler than you.
Yeah, I know. It's like, that's useful, right?
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you want to be hot and
You
cool.
can't lose.
Yeah.
It's like, you think you're cool? That makes me hotter
guess
than
I'm
you.
hot.
Yeah.
You think you're
Be
cooler
hotter
than
than me?
You think you're cooler
Then
than
I must
me?
be cooler than you. It's just science. No one's saying any different. Okay, and this final one here. Why is it? And we can talk about this in a second. Food for thought with all that's going on in Star Wars world. Why is it that in order to bring balance to the Force, you have to destroy one side?
Huh. Wait a minute. Bringing balance. Do you have? Now I'm trying to remember all the actual Star Wars quotes.
Are you caught up?
Wiping out the dark side would balance the Force?
I don't know. What? Velociraptor, you get me every time. Mind blown.
I'm not up to date with Kenobi.
Have you not seen Kenobi?
No, because
a new episode is on Wednesdays.
I haven't seen any of it because I'm watching it with people, and we haven't gotten together for that yet.
I'm watching it with people and specifically driving to their home late at night just to watch it.
Yeah, that was our plan, but it hasn't happened yet. So it's like, Urgh.
So they can just it's like printing money. I will watch their stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I don't care how terrible it is. I don't think any of them are terrible. No matter like people like dogged on like Solo or whatever. I'm like, I love it.
I loved Solo.
I love Solo. Yeah, you can. Yeah.
I didn't love what was the last series before this?
Book of Boba Fett.
Boba Fett. Yeah, I didn't love that series, but I still watched it all.
They can make backstories for every one of these people back into they were babies, and I will watch it.
And you're in?
I'm in. I will watch it. I will watch how did their parents get to be the way they are to raise them the way they did. I'll watch the whole thing. I love it. I'm eating it up. So this one, in my opinion, fantastic. Wow, great.
They should just pick like the most obscure side character that is barely in
Greedo.
one of the yeah.
He has all these hopes and dreams and ambitions and thinks it's like, Greedo, we just got one more job for you. You're gonna kill Han Solo, meet him in the bar.
If I do this one more,
I
I can quit. We can be free.
You got it, Greedo. That's all you need. Just this one more job. He goes back. He's like, I'm going to use this money and get my family farm back. And I'm going to do all these things for my children.
I'm gonna be a school teacher.
And Han Solo just blows him away. The end. The Book of Greedo. Oh, just stuff warms my heart. You can go through any one person. It's like,
You think your heart's warmer than mine?
I guess I'm cooler than yours.
I'm cooler.
How about the guy in like the Star Wars 4, they get in the bar where Obi-Wan chops his arm off, like in the classic, like they're in the bar.
Yeah.
And so it's like he comes in, he's like, I'm going to be a painter. Like, that's so exciting. Oh, finally you got that painting contract.
The drummer in the Cantina band.
The band just finally has an opening for a drummer and I'm going to do it. Really? Are you going to? Yeah. I'm going to drop it.
That's my lightsaber.
The Book of Guy at Bar. Yeah.
Guy at Bar.
Yeah.
I actually thought you were making up a name for him. I didn't hear Guy at Bar.
Guy
the
at
Book
Bar.
of Guy at Bar.
Well, there is Admiral Akbar. It's So maybe he's related somehow. Guy at bar.
Guy Akbar. Maybe we're just saying it wrong. It's
entirely-
Guy Akbar.
It's entirely possible. But anyways, that's a little bit of a meander ramble on...
All right. Well,
That's just some food for thought, Mark.
well,
That's just a little food for thought.
here you go.
Certainly food for thought.
The drama is
Yeah.
so intense in that.
say
That's
it
from the Adventures of
slowly.
Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension. Have you ever heard of that movie?
I've seen that movie.
Have you?
A number of times.
So I've never even heard of it, and then I'm like, who's in this? And the whole world is in that.
So, because it starts off so brilliant, he's like a rocket scientist and a brain surgeon, and he's all these super high level things. It's great. Yeah.
Man, made me want to check it out.
Adventures of
Jeff
Buckaroo
Goldblum's
Banzai.
in there.
Yep.
Anyway, before we get into origins, I've got we're gonna play a game.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna give you 3 options.
Okay.
To see if you can guess what the origin of our idiom today, which is food for thought, where it comes from. So here they are in no particular order. Actually, they're in alphabetical order.
Okay. A.
A. Although less than a century old, it is biblical in its origins. Food for thought originally referenced the grapes in King Solomon's vineyard.
Oh my goodness. Entirely possible. I do have a degree in theology. I've never heard of that before. That's probably true. Okay.
B.
I was away that day.
Originated alongside the theory of gravity. Newton famously referenced an apple falling from a tree as an example of gravity. It is this apple that was the original food for thought.
I saw where you're going there. That's good. And the backstory is good. Curse you.
Number 3, or C. The origin of this idiom begins with the origin of mankind. Adam and Eve were forbidden to eat the fruit from the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
Suck.
This fruit was said to be the food for thought.
Wow. Oh, these are 3 good ones. You've outdone yourself. You balderdashed yourself to level 10.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You've given me food for thought. Illegitimate children, lock your answer in. I am going to go with C from a commentary on C.
Adam and Eve.
I'm going to go with Adam and Eve, commentary on C.
All right, let's find out.
I said some words, where'd they go? Where'd they go? No one can know. I turned around and looked behind. Those words came from another mind. Origins.
Well, let me tell you my thought in putting these 3 guesses together.
There is no answer, and you just pulled out 3 things?
No, there is an answer.
Okay.
I just didn't include it in one of the options. I was so caught up in creating answers that I forgot to put the correct one in there.
Okay.
So all 3 of those are false.
Okay, you got me for sure on that one if you don't include it.
So all yeah, exactly. Oh, that's how I win.
Every time.
Every time he gets it wrong. I don't understand what his problem
You're
is.
the teacher with the multiple choice test with no correct answer.
No correct answer.
You're E on every one.
All right, so this is actually from Adagia. Adagia.
I know Adagia.
Do you?
Friend of mine.
Oh, I get it. You know Adagia. Adagia
She's lovely.
is a collection of proverbs by Dutch humanist Desiderius Erasmus. Want to say that? Desiderius Erasmus. That's a fun name. He's considered one of the greatest collection, or this is, the Adagia is considered one of the greatest collections of its kind ever assembled, which is saying something. Written in the beginning of the 16th century, sources have pointed to it as the earliest use of an idea or speech as a metaphor for food for the mind. So it's not exactly food for thought, but this is what it says. Do not put food in a chamber pot. Plutarch interprets this saying as meaning that one should not pour courteous words into the mind of a bad man. For speech is the food of the mind, and it decays and goes rotten if it falls onto the mind that is impure. So that's Erasmus in his collection called Adagia, volume 31. So that's the earliest example of it being worded that way. So possibly the origin of this, but still not saying it the way we say it. And there's a translation there, so who knows. The earliest example of this idiom in text as we use it today comes from The Pines of Lowry, written by author and architect John Ames Mitchell. So here's what he says. Pines of Lowry was written in 1901. Here was food for thought. But then the man was exceeding drunk, and his companion, who probably knew him well, paid no attention to his words. Now they say
Who's they? Who's they?
all my research. Here's
Vader.
Here's the little bonus information to do with what you will.
Okay.
You know how we talk about often in the research consisting entirely of the internet that every site is a copy and paste of something else. And even when it wasn't, everybody said it's John Ames Mitchell with his Food for Thought, Exceeding Drunk Guy from the Pines of Glory, 1901.
His initials are Jam.
Jam. So
This is his
every
jam.
site
Okay.
quoted him, this 1901 print of the Pines of Glory, as the origin of our idiom, Food for Thought, except one. And once I read this one, I couldn't find it anywhere else. Yet it so clearly predates 1901. And it's a big name. Mark Twain, in A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court in 1889. Like famous literature. He says there was food for thought there.
Wow. So the other thought, so you're thinking that either that's accurate or all the other ones are accurate. And do you think someone would actually take the time to write something wrong to put on the internet?
I do think that, but I don't know if this is it. What I should have done is gone and looked up each of the two literature pieces.
Oh, there you go.
And then I would know for sure. So,
verify that it's actually in.
yeah, either one.
Huh.
So definitely King Arthur's Court predates Pines of Glory, but
For sure.
everybody gives the credit to Pines of Glory. So whatever the case, comes from literature, possibly goes back to the 1508 Adagia by Erasmus there, but in its actual idiomatic form is a little newer, 100 years.
Interesting.
100 years, and that's
Food for thought.
it's
That is food for thought.
Food for thought in today's idiom.
It's often, like, I think of it as a positive idiom.
Yeah, that was actually mentioned. It's always used as a positive thing.
It's like, oh, it's food for thought. Like, you're not saying no. Well, food for thought. Like, it's always like, oh, it's interesting.
It's either
That's food for thought.
positive, like, no, I accept that, or it's how to end a conversation. You know, like you're not winning an
person's
argument.
rambling.
Like,
Blah, 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 blah,
food for
blah,
thought.
blah, blah, blah. Well, food for thought. And then you just walk away.
yep.
Get your drink, look in the other direction. Well, food for thought. Well, you can also try that at the water cooler today.
I wonder if there's any Cliff Clavins out there who listen to this show, and every time one of these idioms is
Little did
said-
you know there.
yeah. Well, that's food for thought. Oh yeah, hey, Normie. I don't know if he knew.
Who are three people who've never been in my kitchen?
He's not wrong.
Yeah, he's
not wrong.
It's not wrong. Food for thought.
Yep. So that is the origins du jour.
Fantastic. Well, we are heading into the end of things. So you'll be pleased to know that you can get off your elliptical soon, or you will be at work forthwith. We should get into some riddlinks.
That's good. Riddling is a game we like to play. It takes a two-part trivia-based question and requires a two-part but overlapping answer. So it could be overlapping by word or words or a syllable or less or more. You know what I'm saying. So, for example, I have too many pages here because I brought all that health information today. Raisin Bran, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so for example, last week we had couch potato was our idiom. You remember couch potato?
I do.
Now, I left you with this. I don't remember if you got it off air or not, but we left everybody with this idiom, or this riddling. This crazy cannibalistic bovine disease sure is a lazy TV watcher. This crazy cannibalistic
I
bovine
do have
disease sure is a lazy TV watcher.
The legitimate children, that is a mad couch potato.
That's right, we got mad cow and couch potato. Overlapped is mad couch potato, and
Unless
that
you're
is how you
from
play
the
riddling.
Maritimes, for our maritime friends, and
Coach.
it's a mad coach potato.
Mad coach potato.
It's a mad coach potato.
It's probably a potato anyway. Mad
Potato
coach potato.
Well, I've got a couple prepared.
I got a couple.
Let me jump into this one first. The legitimate children, chime in. McDonald's styled cuisine gives me something to ponder.
That's do it again.
McDonald's styled cuisine gives me something to ponder.
That has got to be fast food for thought.
That is fast food for thought.
And that's how you play. Okay, I got one. You ready?
Yep.
Man, which one? I'm going to give you this one. David Carradine show is something to think about.
Oh,
David Carradine show is something to think about.
you guys probably beat me to it. I had a little bit of an aneurysm there. That is Kung Food for Thought.
That's it.
Oh, man, I loved that show.
Me too.
It was so good. Oh, man.
You know what? I still envision... Isn't it the intro of that show where he puts his wrists on the hot pot?
Yes.
Comes out with perfect tattoos.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was that final, like, marks, the ones around his neck that didn't end so well.
I don't remember that.
Oh.
Oh, is that the way he really died?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, it was...
I get it now.
Yeah, that's not good. Here we go. Second one, chime in with love.
Wait, the actor or the character?
No, well,
David
I'll
Carradine?
tell you afterwards. It involves a.
Is it David Carradine?
He's
All right.
he's.
Oh, you don't even need to tell me. I think I've pieced it all together.
Okie dokie. Here we go. Second one. Chewing on an idea makes cartoon idea blobs appear over my head. Chewing on an idea makes cartoon idea blobs appear over my head.
Cartoon idea. Oh. Is it just, is it food thought bubbles?
It's a
Thought clouds.
Food for thought bubbles.
Oh.
Food for thought
I did
bubbles.
get it right?
You got just missed the word. It doesn't matter.
What did I say?
Just food thought bubbles.
Oh, food.
You were so excited.
Food for thought bubbles.
Food for thought bubbles. You were just so excited to get it out.
I was.
I love that. It's one of your qualities I like about you.
What?
You're just so excited all the time.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Okay, I got one more, and I'm really excited.
I'm
to
ready
share
for it.
Okay, but why don't you tell everybody how they can play along?
This one's not for me. It's for you, Village Children. We would love to hear from you on Instagram at the.village.idiom or email us at thevillageidiompodcast at gmail.com, or whether it's the Facebooks, the YouTubes, or the Twitters at 3 Minutes Gone.
That's the number 3, isn't it?
3, depending on which way this comes out for you. 3.
If you're just listening, he's doing hand motions.
3 Minutes Gone.
All right. Well, here it is. Here's the last one. What?
Unless you're in ancient Rome, and then it's minutes gone.
But not on the internet.
But not on the internet. That'll never work.
Don't look for that.
Don't put minutes gone.
Is W a Roman numeral for anything?
I don't think so.
So www dot whatever is not a Roman numeral.
No, that would be amazing.
Okay, here's the last one. I hope I worded this right. Here's an edible idea, which is a call for the not Decepticons to start a mission.
And that
Here's an edible idea, which is a call for the not Decepticons to start a mission.
is 3
terrible.
minutes gone.
Did you get it?
I'm actually thinking about it.
Okay, all right.
Huh. I'll have to chew on that one a bit. But you have
food for
time.
thought.
It is food for thought. You have time to respond. And as always, we love hearing from you. I am Skinny.
I am Jurassic Mark.
And these are the Village Idioms.
All you got is something too good to take. Give me all your money and
I think we missed the keyword there, but it started with food for thought.
There you go.
It was relevant.
And that's 3 minutes gone.